Hey guys, it's me, the dude who talks, and welcome. So for today I'm going to be talking about the debut new album from Gozer called An Endless Static, which is out now through Trepanation Records. Hailing from Sheffield in the UK, Gozer are a post-metal band forming from the ashes of a dead band called Archelon, who consist of TJ Fairfax on drums and vocals, Kieran Sockett on bass, synth and vocals, and Craig Paul on guitar and vocals. An Endless Static was written during the pandemic, and the theme throughout An Endless Static is mental health and the struggles with it. So, with that out the way, what did I think of An Endless Static? Did I like the album, or would I prefer actual Endless Static to this album? Let's find out. So for those who want to know, An Endless Static consists of 5 tracks and clocks in at 47 minutes and 13 seconds. So the album An Endless Static is bookended by two 10-minute songs called Into the Grey and Winter Seerig. So let's start off with Into the Grey. This, starts off very quiet. The drums being up front and centre, the guitars in the background creating the atmosphere, and the vocals being ever so present. The vocals sound a cross between Aaron Turner and Scott Kelly with that low sounding growl. As with the case for most post-metal albums, it is very slow paced, and this is the case for this album. But that's with most post-metal albums is because it's normally building up to a huge payoff, and this is no different. And while it does take a while to get there, it definitely does get there. And the way the guitars get noisier with more feedback added, you're getting closer to it, and that builds up to something and you get this riff. After that point, the pace definitely picks up even more. It goes harder towards the end, which feels like the whole song was building up to this very moment, and it is very climatic. So the next song is called Auger, and it's very sparse sounding at first. It uses like strings in the arrangement, which is a nice touch and gives it a bit more emotion to the song. The viola, which was provided by Richard Spencer of Baal, was definitely giving me Neurosis vibes. However, this song definitely takes an unexpected left turn towards the end, which spikes in loudness when the blast beats come. The Neurosis vibes definitely continue with the song A Fading Light, especially with the riff, which is definitely a good thing. Also like to note the inclusion of the French horn on this song, which was performed by Thomas Wright of 100-Year-Old Man. Definitely a nice addition. It gives it that gloomy feel, which is very atmospheric. And I do recommend listening to this song with headphones because of the atmosphere, though I can say that for the whole album. Though while most of the song is slow and dreary and sludgy, it definitely picks up towards the end and ends with a solo, but not that kind of stereotypical fast-paced solo. It feels like it's dissected and it's like comes on in stages, and for my first listen I was totally taken aback by it because it was so unexpected, and it got me thinking, does post-metal even have solos? Well, I guess they do now. Desideratum changes things up in the vocals department with guest vocalist Simon Mason from Torpor, and the vocals sound really intense on this song. And then the album finishes off with album closer Winter Seerig, which sees the Neurosis vibes return, especially at the start. Now for this song, it definitely takes a little bit of a while for this song to get going, though when it does get going, it's really intense, and the riff used, oh fucking hell, it's one hell of a... So, nitpicks. Well, I've got one minor nitpick, and that is with the vocals. They just seemed a bit subdued in the mix. Don't get me wrong, there was nothing wrong with them at all. It just felt like they were really quiet and they could have been a bit louder. They just felt like buried in the mix. But then again, when you think about it, no one's ever complained about having the vocals buried with some like really good riffs. And if you're having fatigue with post-metal, I don't think this is gonna change your mind. And if you're wanting something that's probably a bit on the fast side, I don't think this album will be for you, but you never know. So, overall, An Endless Static is equal parts slow, heavy, intense, emotive, and very melancholic. There's parts of it that will take a while to get going, but it will get you to these places, and these places are going to be very intense and heavy, and it will hook you in. So my recommendation is, yeah, go listen to this album.